Check how you put on settings. Let's see. Coach, can you say something? No sound. Chat, can y'all hear me? Okay. So I thought it was me problem. All right, guys. Well, sorry. Listen, it's a bad day. We got technical issues, and of course, the Bama game lost. But what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Bama Insider. I am, of course, one of the coaches, Coach Jerick, Coach Sean, and we'll be here. And then, of course, Coach Smook is just working on some technical difficulties, so we apologize for the late entrance. It's been a rough one. It's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen, since I felt this deflated. I lost energy, guys, in the third quarter. I lost energy in the third quarter. Let's see. Okay, Coach Smook, can you say anything? Okay, Okay, so I think Coach Smook is still working on some technical difficulties. So again, we apologize. Rough one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, a rough one. I'm already seeing some of you guys' comments. Guys, there's nothing that we can really say about it. I think for the most part, and guys, I'll start off with this until we can get Coach Smook and Coach Sean figured out. I got to make an apology to you guys. I think that I have to make an apology to you guys because I feel like I was partially responsible for really hyping this Bama team up to being a national championship contender. And even though I still think that this team is a really good football squadron, even though I still believe that Alabama will win 9 or 10 games this year, I truly believe it. I think we're going to win 10 games. I still think we can win the SC West and eventually get to the SC championship game. But we have to come to the realization that when you have a brand new offensive coordinator and you have a brand new defensive coordinator and you're trying to change your philosophy up, eventually, it's not all going to come full circle. You're not going to fix it in about in months' time. We have to have, as a fan base, we got to have patience. And we're not used to that. We've been used for over the last 15 years winning national championships, competing for national championships. And that's something that we just haven't done. We haven't done it. So this was a rough one. This was a very rough one because this loss felt different from the rest. When we lost games, normally it would be championship matches, playoff type caliber fights, regular season games, but you still had a ton of confidence that we can get back to the SEC championship.
Hear me? Mic check.
Yep, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Chat, can y'all hear us?
Okay, I can get you. So it looks like we got Coach Smook all back on. But Coach,
time out, chat. Sean, you there?
Sean is here.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Sean, Mic check. Listen. All right, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear him, Jay?
I can hear him.
Oh
Mic check,
man,
mic check,
y'all,
mic check.
Yep.
I'm hurting. I'm hurting.
I feel
I can't even lie, bro. And the thing
Yep.
is, nothing that we predicted or you predicted was correct. The thing was, Jalen Miro did not take the reads, bro. Reese dialed up a good offense when he saw the pressure. He saw the only thing I didn't understand why we didn't make the personnel switch early in on the O line. Caden Proctor struggled the whole game.
And we didn't have help.
Didn't
give him any sort of help.
We didn't. And then the thing was, when we did give him help, Milroe missed the reads, man.
Yeah.
It was literally a game of opportunities. It was a game of opportunities, and we did not capitalize. We did not get our scheme. I seen a few broken plays, but it was a game of opportunities, and we were not able to capitalize offensively. That defense played too many snaps. Sean, that's the only thing I'm gonna give you tonight. The defense played too many snaps.
Let me say this. Let me fight you on this. I go back and look at the show what I said last week. I said from the opening whistle, let me repeat myself. Texas was going to attack the perimeter. That's what they done from the opening whistle. I also said Texas was going to screen us to death. That's exactly what they did. I also said when the fans were calling in talking about Quinn Ewers couldn't throw the deep ball, he only did it 6. I said don't pay no attention to that. That was a vanilla. If you know offense, you saw that Sark was penny pitching. He was not trying to open the playbook up against Rice. You see what he did to us. Make him run sideline to sideline. After you make him run sideline to sideline, hit him in between the tackles a little bit, and then test their coverage. Deep balls. Everything I said Texas was going to do, they done it from the opening whistle. Quinn Ewers, 8 out of 13 passes was behind the line of scrimmage. Like I said, just raising up, hike, throw the ball out to the wide receiver. Let's see if their corners want to come up and tackle. You know what I mean? Everything I said Texas was going to do, they did it. That's a whole fact.
And this is the thing. Not only did we bottle it up, not only did we contain the screen game, not only were we effective in containing it with corners sealing the edge and forcing the playbacks inside. The plays where we literally got, it was literally one play, opportunity plays, same plays, same amount of plays. It was 3 opportunity plays that Texas capitalized on. There were 2 major ones that Alabama did not capitalize on, all on the defensive side. I am not going to put this on the defense at no cost. The defense at no point that, bro, they worked with what they had. And the thing was, the plays that they got scored on was immediately falling the fastball. You know what I'm saying? Like the no huddle personnel mismatches. Like literally, you're not getting the call. And I know we're going to make this point about the defensive coordinator being on the sideline. I didn't see that. That wasn't the issue. The issue was, if you look at the clip when they scanned the steal and Reese in that moment when the boys was calling for the play, when they didn't get set up, Steele is snapping. He's in the headset snapping like, yo, get this play. Because we all know how Alabama coaches defenses. If we get in hurry up, there's a base defense called. No matter what you in, the formation that you in, you match up with the formation and you match zone. We know that. We weren't able to depend on our sending our 3-man rush, our 4-man pressure, but we were literally containing this offense how we should have. And it's those small mistakes, man. Penalties came back to bite us late in the game again, bro. I cannot express how disgusted I am with the late game performance with the penalties, bro.
That's what we can slightly agree to disagree, though, bro. This is what I'm saying. Yes, I'm definitely not putting this on the defense. Defense played about as well as you could play. But my whole point was, I knew this is what Texas was going to do on the offense. This is how they were going to try to keep us on the field on defense. Make Miro beat you with the arm. Let's screen them to death. Let's hit them on the perimeter. Those are just like run plays. You know what I mean? That's exactly what they done. I'm not putting anything on the defense. What I'm saying is our defense was in jeopardy of being on the field way too long. I said many plays, yes. That's exactly what happened. If you cannot get off the field on 3rd down, you will lose that game, man, to this team.
Sean,
to this team.
Tell the truth, though.
Because what's that?
Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Oh, no. What I was saying was you have to get off the field on 3rd down against this team. You got to get those guys off of the field. If you allow these dudes to extend drives
Yes.
They have the quarterback, the wide receivers, the tight end to put the ball in the end zone on us. That's all I was saying. And that's exactly what happened. You cannot depend on the defense a full game to try to win a game for you in today's offense.
What was the score?
Football.
What was the final score?
Offense has to be able to score something.
Sean, what was the score? 44-34, right?
34-24.
34-24.
Yes.
The difference in the game, two turnovers. One got forced into a field goal and one got forced into a touchdown.
24-34. Yeah.
That is literally the difference of the whole game. Jalen Murrow, if you protect the ball, we punt it. The defense is playing solid. No matter how many snaps they was out there, they're playing solid. You get one drive where they went down and scored 7. No, they went the long drive and kicked the field goal. They didn't even come away with a touchdown. They came away with a field goal on the long drive. But then we get a turnover and give them possession in close to red zone, and they score. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't on the defense, man. We literally have to go back to this QB room, and we have to give these boys Ty Simpson. We know we have seen that we have the run game, we have the run blocking. Even with the mismatches that was exposed, the run game was effective. We have the pass. We have the guys that can get up in their routes and create separation. We just need a quarterback to let it go and throw guys open. And I'm sorry, I was wrong, chat. I was wrong. I will admit, I'm going to be the first. I'm not making no excuses for Jalen Murrow.
This is why I said earlier before we got the technical issues fixed that I apologize. I apologize for being a part of it because we hyped you guys up too much. We thought that Jalen Murrow was going to take the next step. Listen, I still acknowledge that he took a little bit of progression, but he's not there. And
winners rely on winners. You know what I'm saying? They rely on winning ability. Yep. It was a couple of moments in that game, even though he misreads, Jalen Murrow had a chance to be a winner, like he did against Texas A&M. Because this Texas defensive front, they created more running lanes for Jalen Murrow early downs than Texas A&M did, and he created more space and created more plays against Texas A&M last season. And a lot of people are going to fault him for not making the reads on passing down. I honestly, if y'all go look back at the revamp preview, Jalen Murrow threw 3 picks in that game. I knew he would struggle with reading the defense. That's me playing him realistically. Of course, I could have made other reads and seen things, but I played that game realistically. And he played like I expected him to play. The fact is, if you go back and watch the preview, I made a lot of plays with Jalen Murrow with my legs. We made a lot of plays in the run game, like the Alabama offense was. And the plays where we had plays open downfield for pass games, we made those plays. The difference is 2 missed downfield passes, a touchdown callback with Amari Black. Also, Jermaine Burton had 1 callback too. That's 4 scores that we have called back for lack of discipline, lack of execution, the small things, missing reads early, all that stuff. So yes, I was wrong, chat.
And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This was the exact, and taking away the plays for just a minute, the mental mistakes. This is exactly why we were 10-2 last year. It was just the mental mistakes. We had 15 penalties last year. I think we had 10 penalties today.
Yeah, 10.
We were again undisciplined. We were give credit to Texas front. T'Vondre Sweat is a monster. I tried to tell you guys about T'Vondre Sweat. That dude is a beast. That dude is going to be he's going to be in the conversation for being as a late first rounder to early second rounder as far as a nose tackle. Ethan Burks was I can't even really say Ethan Burks because let's be honest, Caden Proctor got destroyed all game.
Yeah,
he got destroyed all game, whether it was Ethan Burks, whether it was Anthony Hill, another 5-star true freshman. It didn't matter who it was. He got completely killed. And then Darian Delcourt, who ironically, he wasn't even the worst one, to be honest, but he was still.
But the thing was, it started with him, Jay. And you said it started with him because you saw when Seth was, the early snaps trying to get the jump and lean to his Dalcourt side to help. Like, I told you all when we said it, when you said it, I said that was the thing that I was worried about. Was it a thing where guys were trying to do their job and overcompensate? And we seen that happen on the defensive side last year. Jordan Battle and DeMarco Hellams. Battle was out of place a lot trying to overcompensate for Hellams in coverage or in run support. You get what I'm saying? So it's a thing that we have to fix. And let's continue to drown in our sorrows, y'all. This is our time. Come on, Chad, give it to us. I was wrong. Coach Smook deserves whatever y'all give Coach Smook as far as predictions. I'm accepting it because I did not expect this. And the defense showed up like I thought they would, brother. The only thing is we didn't force. We had 2 opportunities for turnovers that we didn't recover. Mm-hmm. But the defense played exactly how I expected. Exactly how I expected. You take away those 2 extra possessions by the turnovers that we gave up, we're not losing this game. We're still in the game. It's the turnovers. The turnovers are literally the difference, man.
It's now of course I think and maybe this is a question for the chat as well, is do you still feel like Jalen Murrow can lead this team to the playoff? I'm not talking national championship because I already gave my prediction on that. I don't think we're making it, but can he lead this team to the playoffs? And if you think he's not the answer, should we make the switch now to Ty Simpson? Can you guys in chat please let us know this? Because the quarterback, this is not going to be the only time we're going to be talking about the quarterback situation. We're going to be talking about this until we can get back into SEC conference play.
Right.
I don't want to look at the South Florida game, and if Jalen Murrow has a great game there, then that's really good for him. But I'm not focused on that game. We're focused on SEC play because now we're in a position where we can't afford to lose a game. We lose one more game, that's the end of our season. So let us know in the comment section below. In the live chat, should Jalen Murrow be benched? Should we start Ty Simpson? And if Jalen Murrow is the starter, do you think he can lead us to the playoffs?
Hey, no, Sean. Before you go, somebody said take the emotion out of it. The O-line and D-line. I think the O-line and the D-line, for what we had out there, O-line did not play great, but it was opportunities that were there when the O-line did play great, when they made great plays, when they did complete their assignments, and Miro just missed. He just missed. He just missed. It was literally pass pros where the O-line blocked it perfectly. Hang in the pocket like you did against Middle Tennessee State, and you see the 12-yard dig by Ja'Cory Brooks wide open on a clutch drive where that would have put us ahead going into the fourth quarter. That would have put us ahead. And then we had an opportunity. It was so many opportunities, so we can't put it all on the O-line. I wanted to see more from Milroe. Go ahead, Sean. Come on, man. Run it down. What you want to acknowledge, man?
Let me say this, bro. I respect everything you guys saying. You know, you my brothers. I respect what you're saying. I respect the chat. But this is what I was afraid of the whole time. I hope you guys go back to the live and listen to what Coach Sean said. I was afraid of this team being able to move the ball on us. Yes, we played great on defense. We kept them out of the end zone for about 3.5 quarters of the game. 13 points, and we still couldn't win at that point. But Quinn Ewers ended up 11 of 17 in the second half. You understand what I'm saying? 349 yards and 3 touchdowns, man. My point, what I was making last week was just this. If we struggle on offense, this quarterback will hurt us. That was my exact words. I said Texas may have the best roster of any team we may see all season. That's including LSU. That's including whoever we play in regular season. I'm telling you guys that those dudes may possibly have more draftable players than we do this year. Believe it or not, this year. That is a very, very, very good team right there. Now, would they play like that the rest of the year? I have no clue. But I knew with the defense that we play, if we go out there going 3 and out, we don't have a Bryce this year to come, bring us back. I've been on Jalen Milroe as far as this team from day one. I said he would be the starter, and I was correct. He would be the starter. But the fear of him not being able to be a proficient passer has always been there. Been there.
And that's one thing I will say about this panel right here. We've all acknowledged if he doesn't have the ability to read defenses early and downs, we will struggle. I said that.
Yep.
But I felt confident enough that because of the style of offense and the play, guys, I'm not going to put this on Tommy Reese. I'm not going to put this on Kevin Steele. The play calling was there, guys. The play calling was there. Milroe legit missed opportunities, guys. This was a game where you have talent stacked on top of talent. Early season, you're trying to establish identities. You have to play chess. And in chess, you have to make the calculated moves count, because you can calculate a move and it looks good. But if you move too soon, You done set yourself up for 2 counterattacks that you're not prepared for. And Miro got us out of he got us out of phase. He got us off schedule so many times that the defense just didn't have the extra oomph to finish. And even when they were put out there in crazy situations, it was one time we could have gave up 6. They forced 2 field goals, forced 1 field goal. They gave it up, and then forced a missed field goal. That's a 12-point swing. What's that? A 9-point swing or a 12-point swing? You get what I'm saying? Like it's those small things that matter when you need that quarterback to make those plays. And guys, more than ever, am I holding on to my statements? I thought Milroe was going to be able to display you know what I'm saying? Like we've always seen Bama QB's 3rd year. They able to just go out there and make it look clockwork. He just did not trust it. He did not trust it. And for some reason, unlike last week in Middle Tennessee State, he was not throwing guys open. Somebody else in the chat said it. He wasn't throwing guys open tonight. The plays where he scored on, he just let it go. Sean, me and you were in the chat, and we were making a joke about it, but I was serious. I don't care if you overthrow the mugs by 12 yards. Make the safeties know you're not scared to try.
Exactly, man. I've been begging them. They playing 2 safety high. Sometimes they crept safeties down in the box. You have to throw the ball downfield. That is youth league football. If you're gonna play me like that, if you're gonna get all these resources to stop one guy and his abilities, you have to show them something different. You got to throw the ball downfield, even if you don't, complete the pass. You got to try, man. You got to try. They came out second half, and I think that was his first pass. They hit Isaiah Bonds. So it's like,
no, I'm sorry.
I don't get it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you good, Jerick? Go ahead.
I said this last week I said this on Monday when we talked about the show. I said eventually, if Milroe can't read the defense, watch out for true freshman Anthony Hill, because he was going to come in the game and he was going to play spy. He was going to play the Perkins role. That's how everyone want to know how Perkins became an All-American, or how Perkins had the game of his life against Alabama. Because Perkins, for the most part, he had no responsibility. His only responsibility was spy on Bryce. Because for the most part, we'll play too high. We have no confidence that these receivers can get any sort of separation. Bryce has to do it by himself, and he's going to scramble. And the moment you see him escape that pocket, go after him. That's exactly what happened today.
You know what's crazy though?
Anthony Hill, for the most part, the snaps that he was in, his only responsibility, his only role was to play spy.
But the thing was, Milroe made those plays, man. He made those plays, but the thing was, you get in and you make the hard plays, but why not make the easy plays, man? Like the clockwork plays that should just be like, oh, they gave it to me like this. And that's what he missed on. That's what he literally missed on, especially the Jace going up the sideline. Jace is a great receiver out the backfield. We know this. We've seen him in action. My thing was, Miro, why you trying to beat that line? That linebacker is beat by 8 yards in stride. You just lob it up just like Ewers did. The safety was so far rolled over to the post route that was going away from you, the corner route. He was rolled over so high that if Miro would have threw it a moon pass to the pylon, I don't think the safety would have got up under it. And that's how much of the nerve showed. And we can't have that, man. Not this season, not this early in the season. And the thing is, we said this would be his first test. And when you go, truth of the matter is, when you have tests, you either gonna pass or fail. Miro, if I'm grading you tonight, C-. C- don't win national championships for Alabama. Not against the gauntlet, not against a Tennessee that just struggled against whoever they played tonight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody saw them struggle against Austin Peay. Not against the LSU team that lost to Florida State first game of the season. That's going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. Not against a Texas A&M team that just lost to Miami. Got embarrassed. We don't need a guy that's second guessing his decisions.
I think I got most frustrated when even the plays were there on the crossers. Jalen would take his 3 to 5 step drop, and instead of looking at coverage, keeping his eyes downfield, the first thing he did was drop his head and try to run. He was running into the pass blocking scheme. It wasn't like those linemen were giving up sacks on those plays. He ran into the defensive end or the outside linebacker trying to run outside.
Bond was there on those crossers. He was there.
Hey, you know what? It was 3 or 4 of them. It was 3 or 4 of them. where Bonds and Knee Black is the smartest tight end I've seen at Alabama in the longest when it comes to running. When I'm talking about reading coverage, sitting in the windows, I mean, he's smart and he's a weapon that needs to be used more often, right? But the thing is, Jalen Milroe, like you said, Sean, he's getting that 2-3, and on that third step, he's already dropping his head. Why? Proctor's already getting pressed on the edge. He's carrying the edge. He's extending the pocket for you. Step up. Take that one hitch step and give it to your crossing Bonds, who's in full stride. You got a 4.4, 4.38 guy in full stride coming across the field with a linebacker trying to cross him or a strong safety trying to cross. There was many times where the safety was rolling down late to try to cover Bonds on those crossers. Linebacker was spying. Like you said, Jay. Linebacker was spying. Texas did exactly what we needed them to do on defense. Milroe just didn't capitalize. And like I said, my thing is, we knew coming into this game, realistically, we knew if Jalen Milroe struggled, it would the competition would still be open. My thoughts is let's not move past this game, but let's talk about realistic occurrences right now. Let's talk about what's realistic right now with Alabama football and the quarterback room. Because how many drops did we have at receiver? Shout out to Always Believe. Hey, Always Believe, you already know. We're gonna stand 10 toes down on what we say, man. We had a feeling we thought that boy was gonna come in and show us something, but he didn't. He fought. Son, does it not shame you to have to admit that Jalen Milroe, the guy we just put so much of our hopes in, and he didn't show up for us tonight, man. He did not.
But see, I don't feel that way, man. I don't feel that way at all. I'm gonna
I
tell
don't
you why.
either.
Let me explain why I don't feel that way.
Convince me.
My number one thing was Jalen would start for this season. I knew his struggles. I was well aware of his struggles. I knew if Jalen don't play, I think I said more than once, if Jalen does not come in and take the pressure off of the offensive team, we'll lose this game. We'll be in some trouble. I think my exact words were, we'll be in some trouble. We're going to look up and our ass is going to be in a fight. I was well aware of Jalen's deficiencies, but I said, let's not judge him off one game. If he's the best on the roster for us to win a football game, so be it. I said I think he would start for this football team. We all said, now if he keeps that position, it's strictly based off his play. Strictly based off his play.
Yep.
So I don't feel that way at all. You know, I feel like Jalen has got to be better. I feel like Jalen does not look down the field. I feel like those traits in upper echelon competition where he don't look downfield plagued him again tonight. That is how every team in the SEC is probably going to play this guy. Obviously, Texas.
Man.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. This comment right here. You guys are I'm gonna have to stop right here. Hold on, Sean. Y'all tripping right now. This defensive front played they tails off tonight. To deal with I don't think y'all understand the type of protections they were dealing with when they were talking about, and you got to think the positions they were put in when we needed 3-man pass rushes, those were not ideal positions for a 3-man pass rush. And these guys were still pressing the pocket. Not as fast as we wanted to, but they were dealing with crazy situations. And like I say again, and like I believe everybody wants to admit, the thing is, we just didn't take advantage of opportunities, guys.
Right.
Literally on defense, Kevin Steele, 1 or 2 times he got out schemed. 1 or 2. And I want to say when they got the mismatch with Downs, making him step up and crash on that deep, was it like a 12-yard out or whatever it was, whatever he crashed on when he had no reason to. It's below the sticks. No need to crash on that. Stay safe till the ball is in the air. I know that's what you're being coached. Stay safe till the ball is in the air. We got a 3rd down. Stay safe till the ball is in there. Don't give up the big play. You stay in your deep half, you're falling back to cover that. And then also the I think it was the screen, the Jatavius Sanders screen. Even when Kool-Aid, he made the play on that, man. That reverse pass, Sean, that was one you was worried about.
Hold on one
and
second.
Literally, he burning the chicken. He burning the chicken. No, Sean, don't burn the chicken. I got my chicken over here. Jay, for real though, man. I'm more disappointed. And like you said, I can't put it all on Milroe. It was too many times where Proctor, Dalcourt, Latham at points got beat badly, but those plays where they got beat, they weren't the plays that were key to this game, honestly. Because when they made the plays, when they stood up against those 5-star, 300-pound defensive tackles, or they passed off the delayed blitz from the outside linebacker, Miro missed, man. He missed. And those in big games, when you have equally talented teams, because there's no talent gap between Alabama and Texas. You get what I'm saying? The talent matches up. I don't care if you're talking about rating pre-high school. I'm talking about currently on the field. You go and look at PFF ratings and, everything for those starters listed on each set. This is quality guys on the field. NFL guys on the field. So you have to capitalize on the opportunities. And we know it's not always going to be the quarterback. But in moments like this where we was presented tonight, Alabama, it was on the quarterback, man. And he just inches on all of them, for real. Honestly, inches.
Coach, you know what this game reminded me of so much? It reminded me of Alabama versus Clemson in the national championship game in 2016. It reminded me so much of this game because defensively, they took, it was 105 snaps the defense took. And the defense in the first half and a little bit in the third quarter was killing Deshaun Watson. Literally killing Deshaun Watson and killing the offense, making the correct adjustments, making the correct reads. Gap defense was phenomenal. Pass rush in the interior on the outside was immaculate. But when you have 105 snaps, when you're working with a young freshman quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who for the most part couldn't read, to a point where Clemson was playing cover 0 because they did not believe in his arm. They didn't believe in his ability to read and look for the open man. It reminded me so much of that because by the time Jalen Hurts figured it out, by the time Steve Sarkisian was able to dial up some plays and get it all called out, the defense was gassed. They were done. Because when you have that, when you're on the field for that much and that long, especially when you're going against some of the best offensive play calls in the country, eventually they're going to figure it out. They're going to create this, because especially if you have the skill position players that Clemson had that game, they're going to figure it out. And if your defense is starting to kind of wear down a little bit and they're starting to get tired, they're gonna get the matchup they want. They're gonna expose it, and that's exactly what happened tonight with Texas. Texas eventually had too many. Steve Sarkisian is one of the best play designers in college football. He is going to set you up, and eventually he's going to find it. He's gonna find the weakness of the team, and he's gonna expose it. Quinn has one of the easiest jobs I believe in out of any quarterback in college, because he has an offensive coordinator that can set it up for him.
You don't have to do
strictly for him.
Jay, you know what's the difference, though? You know what's the difference, brother? The thing is, Sean's back. The thing is, bro, Kevin still gave us opportunities to get. Yeah, he stopped Sarkisian in those moments where they could have flipped momentum early in the game, early second quarter. He set it up. He gave the offense.
Do it forever.
He can't do it forever. And
just like Jeremy Pruitt can do it forever.
Exactly. The thing is, defense. Guys, you guys giving the defense slack right now. You guys don't understand. Snap count early in this season is a schematic thing now. Offensive coordinators who are specialized, who have the weapons, they want to get 80 plus snaps in the game. Those analytics matter now because they know you can keep big guys on the field longer. You can't keep big guys, don't play space well. So a guy like Sarkisian knows these things. All these things, these small factors are playing into his game. His gameplay calling. So I want y'all to factor this in. Last year, every loss we had, whether it was by the 1-point loss or the 3-point loss, what was the amount of snaps that the defense played? They played more snaps than the offense by 20 plus snaps. Yeah. That is not good for any team. I don't care if you have a high power offense. You could have Mac Jones in that 2020 offense out there. If your defense is playing 20 more snaps than them, you're going to be in shootouts every game, 56, 49, 70, 63. That's why Oregon that could never win a national championship, because when they found the offense that could steal those 3 possessions, 1 possession a quarter, that's when the game changed. So we found our match. Texas matched up talent-wise across the board. It was those opportunities that we missed. Sean, go ahead. You were saying something very important before you left, brother.
Let me say this to everybody that think the defense played well. In college football, look up in the third quarter, late third quarter, mid third quarter. Texas only had 13 points, guys. They only had 13 points. We had stopped them for practically the entire game until that explosion in the fourth quarter. They had 13 points, guys. 13. We give them 2 turnovers. They scored 2 touchdowns in probably a minute. You know what I'm saying? We give them the ball 2 times back to back. So we really can't put that on the defense.
Make it clear. Make it clear. Is it on the defense or what? What is that? Is that on the defense or is that the lack of offensive production?
That was lack of offensive production, and that was the one thing in football that'll get you beat: turnovers. You can't give the ball to the other team, especially not a talented team like that. We give them a short field several times, field position, and our defense kept them out of the end zone. Let me tell you something. If our defense was bad, they would have blew us out right then because they got in the red zone like 4 or 5 times. And all they came away with it. So we got to stop
9 points. No, 10 points. 10 points out of 4 red zone possessions. Come on, y'all. That's not on defense, bro. Defense.
We gave Sark. And see, let me give some credit to the Texas fans right quick. I'm personally on record saying I love Coach Sark. I love his schemes. I love his motions. I love his play calling. I love his matchup knowledge. That guy, man, I love it. He did to us the same thing we did to Ohio State in 2021. Bring motion, find the matchup, attack the matchup. That's exactly what he did several times to Caleb. He found Caleb, found him in the formation and attacked him on several different things. High-low routes, post routes, hitting the underneath throws, hitting the over-the-top throws. Coach Sarkisian, this was what I was afraid of, man. I did not want us to get in a game to where we were either coming from behind or we were trying to play catch up. We were trying to go in a gunfight with that type of offense. Our defense played well. We had every opportunity in the book to tie this game up, to take the lead. We gave them the ball twice. They scored off both turnovers. Boom.
Hey, and this comment right here. Steph McLaughlin had 4 bad snaps in the game. Those 4 bad snaps did not lead to negative plays. So bad snaps have happened with some of our best centers. Barry Jones, the kid that transferred from Florida State came in. Lander Dickerson. Big games, bad snaps. So those didn't factor into what literally happened. Because Milroe even made a big play off of a bad snap. Let's acknowledge these super chats before we continue, y'all. Hey, shout out to Michael Manson. The offense looks no different than Bob. Ooh, why aren't we blaming Tommy like we did Bob? Tommy Reese was terrible. Let's acknowledge this. I disagree 100,010%, Michael.
So do I.
Because Sean, you go first. Jay, you go first. Then you go next. I'll go last. Go ahead, Sean. I'm gonna give you the screen, bro.
I'll keep it quick.
Let's go 1 minute.
This scheme that we had tonight was nothing like Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien ran offensive schemes that didn't make any sense whatsoever. Everything Tommy Reese was doing tonight, I totally understood what he was trying to do as far as matchups, as far as where the pressure was coming from. He put Jalen Milroe in a position to be successful. Passing routes were on time. Quarterback opportunities were on time. Run game was what it needed to be. This was strictly about players not performing. A player not performing. A team on that side of the ball not performing. This looked nothing like Bill O'Brien's offense.
Come on, Jay. Smack.
I'll say this real quick. When Bryce Young took over, when Bill O'Brien was working with him, Bryce Young was Peyton Manning of the Indianapolis Colts. He was the commander in chief. He was the guy that commanded the offense, had to make all the checks, had to identify the defenses, had to make all the check downs, had so much responsibility that when you saw Jalen Milroe or other quarterbacks in there, when they ran the exact same Bryce-centric offense, they couldn't do it. With Tommy Reese, everything was set up. Everything was there. It was extremely simplistic. The reads were there. Receivers are getting open. I'm not seeing receivers all running hitch routes, so that's definitely a good thing. I'm watching receivers get comfortable. I'm seeing it, and it's very easy and it's very simplistic to follow. Jalen Milroe simply just couldn't make the reads, and that's just the point. And that's just point blank. Period. Of course, we're gonna blame Tommy Reese, of course, for this loss because again, we only scored 24 points. But when you take a deep look at it, Jalen Milroe did not make the reads. Simple as that. If you were able to, again, if he can read the field, scan the field like Bryce can, I guarantee you Alabama probably could have put up 40 points in this game.
It's a whole fact.
Hey, shout out to my boy Chief. He said, open the lines. I got something to get off my chest. This ain't a call-in show, man, but I swear if I could, I would, man. If y'all want to do something like that, we do have something we're going to be doing after this show. I'm going to be up tonight, man. I got to be at church in the morning, but nothing hurts like this, man. This hurts. You want me to tell you why? Because the thing is, we literally had opportunities to win this game, change momentum multiple times, and they were all on the quarterback's shoulders. Just what we need to see. He got tested just like we said he would, Sean. Jay, you said it. If Jalen Miro didn't have the big moments in clutch times, this defense was not going to be able to stand the time. It's physically impossible to expect the defense this early in the season to be conditioned to play that many snaps. Miro, some of them 3-play drives, we needed 7-8 plays. We needed 11 plays. I mean, even if they was 7 slow or 4 slow plays, man, it was a couple drives. We was off the field at 1 minute and 4 seconds. That's nothing. That's nothing. So I don't blame the defense. Guys, we got to get off of this defense. This defense played. Marshall played in that inside. They were making so many plays behind the line of scrimmage. Texas literally, they scored on a freaking moon ball. Honestly, I believe an experienced Caleb Downs, a Caleb Downs who has had more than one game in college football, doesn't crash on that route like he does. He plays it safe. He knows the situation. That's a situation where he forgot about the situation at hand. That's one play not score on. And then the last one with Key, man, that was just an opportunistic play, man. That was a good design. Sarkisian creates the best design plays. I think Kevin still had a good game making adjustments because he made adjustments the whole game. I think Tommy Reese called a solid game. Run blocking was not consistent, but when it was there, the running backs made good plays. All of them. Roy Dell, Jace, Jam. I would have loved to seen Justice try to get in there and get out to the edge. I feel like he's more of an edge guy to get out there and make some moves, but we Tommy Reese did good. He got the ball. He keyed Amari Knee-Black when we needed to key Knee-Black. He keyed Dupree. Even though Jalen missed a lot of reads, man. I'm disappointed in the way he was not able to diagnose this defense, man, because it was not anything extravagant, man. Especially the first pick. The first pick was basic. He told that corner to come and pick off this deep out route. That's what he did. He looked at that slot. He stared it down, and the corner was playing flat like he was supposed to. The out broke under. He's supposed to lean on that out, but because he's watching the quarterback's eyes, Milroy is telling him, I'm going to the deep out, like I did against Middle Tennessee State to get me started. Did I not say they was going to scout those plays? We went vanilla, but it's tendencies that matter. Jalen Milroy showed his tendencies and they cast. Go ahead, brother.
I'll say this real quick, and then we can pass it to you or Sean. But when the defense is on the field for that long, and when Kevin Steele is giving you opportunities, when it's 13-9, especially how many opportunities Texas had in the red zone, especially in 4th down conversions. We're not even talking about 4th down plays, because technically we did stop them on a lot of the 3 and outs, but they went for it. They went for it, I think 6 or 7 times on 4th down conversions, and they only got it 3 times. So when you're creating opportunities for your offense to score, imagine if we were to score, let's say in that first half, and Jalen Miro was able to hit Rodale Williams on the sideline instead of just not really technically leading him down, and Rodale kind of falls. Imagine if he scores in that position, or imagine if Jalen Miro on the zone read sees Jermaine open, streaking down the sideline, throws it to him wide open, and he catches it right down the sideline. What do you think is going to go ahead in Coach Sark's head? He's not gonna, because again, when the game is that close, it gives Sark time. It gives him time to prepare, to see weaknesses and try out different things in order for him to get the matchups that he wants against. If we're up by 2 scores in Tuscaloosa where the crowd is all rowdy, what do you think is going to happen with Sark?
He got
desperation mode.
He got to press. Yep.
Desperation mode. And he's going to start telling Quinn, we got to find, okay, you know what? I see this matchup exhibit worthy against Kool-Aid. Let's streak it. Let's see what happens. He's gonna get off his, and he did this last year where he was pretty much where when he was down by a couple scores, Quinn had no choice but to throw it deep down the field. They had to take more riskier plays and riskier chances.
Hudson Card.
Exactly. Hudson Card. They had to do that, especially, because when you're down by that much, desperation mode is going to happen. I think what happened with us with Kevin Steele, we decided to take a little bit more chances. I feel like for the most part, offensively, you definitely saw in the second half, we were in kind of desperation mode because we felt like if Texas were able to get that ball back, the way that our defense was starting to fade away a little bit, that we were going to get knocked out. We were going to get KO'd. It was basically a Deontay Wilder. How Wilder, for the most part, was just swinging bombs in the 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th round, go down swinging. Because otherwise, I'm gonna lose based off of points.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Y'all are really. I understand the hurt, guys. I understand the hurt, but this right here, this is what we don't need. Come on, guys. We're not. Texas is not a 7-2 team. They're not a 7-5 team.
Exactly.
This is a team that has talent. They are deep. They have been in top 10 in recruiting for the past 3 years now.
3 years, top 5.
Come on, top 5. Come on, guys. Like these guys are they're building. No, everybody has an opportunity to build. And we said this last show. The landscape of college football is changing. There won't be dominant games when you're talking about top 10 teams anymore. Like we're coming to the times where top 10 games are becoming top 10 games again. And we just so happen to be the beneficiaries of we just so happen to be the product of dominating for so long that now, because everybody's finally caught up after 15 years. After 15 years, everybody caught up. Now it's a big deal. No, it's time. The next phase is supposed to come through. So it's not surprising to me. Does it hurt? Yes. Does it hurt? Yes. But it's not surprising. We knew that it would be more Tua's and Jalen Hurts' paths around across college football. We knew it would be more Reuben Foster's and, like DBs that we've had come through here. We said D was solid. Let me see. We got another super chat. Jacob Hartline. D was solid. O-line was disappointing. Milroe was what I thought he would be. But shout out to receivers. Had some great catches tonight. I agree. And you know what, Sean? I will credit you this. Re-scheme Milroe into phase. Milroe just didn't take he didn't take advantage of those opportunities. Like
shout out to I'm sorry, my bad. Shout out to Dominic Everett. He said the defense kept us in it. They did. When we went 3 and out, back to back, they did. And to
anybody that's this kind of defense is just not watching the game, man.
Facts. To 300, you said the defense wasn't good. Let me explain something to you. If you play 70s plus snaps, almost 80 snaps by the fourth quarter, I assure you're going to get fatigued. I assure you that defensive juice that you had in the first quarter is not going to be the same in the fourth. The defense held that offense to 13 points for 3.5 quarters. That's all you can ask of them. That's all you can ask of them, man. Let me say to ask any more of them is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Defense did their job. Of course, they gave up some plays at the end of the game, man. I mean, what you expect them to do? They was on the field the whole first half practically. So we got to get off of the defense, man. The play calling was not bad. I'd rather see us aggressive like that. We may have lost tonight, but we'll win a lot of games with that aggressive defense. I much rather see us aggressive than dropping 8, rushing 3 all the time.
So
I don't have a problem with that. I knew Texas had this kind of offense. I said Texas roster may be the best we'll see, even better than LSU. Yeah. Those guys are talented, man. Those guys are talented. We can't play from behind with a team like that, guys. So we lost. Okay. The world is not over. The world is not over.
I don't know if you all watched the Ole Miss game. Like other offensive coordinators that I worry about, Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. We saw them struggle with Tulane. I didn't see a Alabama defense that will struggle with Ole Miss's scheme and what they were struggling against Tulane. I didn't see that tonight. Against a very if you want to be honest, Texas is probably if they were in the SEC right now, Texas their offensive group would probably be like number 4 in the SEC. I'm talking about East and West. Number 3, maybe. You get what I'm saying? Talking about offensive style and scheme and production. They would definitely be in the top 5 for sure. Top 4, top 5 for sure. And so you're talking about Alabama going in second week of the season with an inexperienced, a lot of new faces on defense. The announcers were saying that we knew what was coming in. We were confident, and they played solid. They gave like you said, 4 opportunities. Not only to take the lead, not only to tie it up, but to take the lead and then to go up with the lead, like take the extra possession. We had those opportunities. We just didn't take advantage on the offensive side. And like most of the chat is saying I'm not going to give Miro crap as if he sucks. It's just we got to try something else, man. We got to try something else. We can't have another Jalen Hurts year.
We took 2 touchdowns off the board. Remember that. We scored twice, only to take them back off of the board. So
and Darren Belcourt, and then of course Tyler Booker down the field. Those plays don't happen. Those are touchdowns and different story potentially.
And you know what? You can't fault those guys, but at the same time, they gotta know. Y'all did this all last year. Y'all did this. Everybody on that line played snaps with Bryce last season. They knew not to go downfield. And the thing is, Miro did not press. He did not press the run game. He did not press his legs the whole game like I thought he would. Mm-hmm. The thing was, he was doing the same thing slick like Bryce was in the better scheme, and the opportunities were there. And when he, like, it was like when he did make the plays, somebody else. So, but the plays, it was more plays that he didn't make that were there than the ones that he made that, you know, got called back. So the 2 that got called back, you know, yes, but there were 5 others he should have made. Especially that Ja'Cory Brooks dig route, man. Sean, we both were cussing in the chat. I think me and Sean was arguing with each other, making the same point. Like, it's not the receivers. You know what I'm saying? It's not the receivers. This man got to make a read. At the end of the day, he got to make the reads, man. And I'd rather have a guy like Ty Simpson who's seeing it and letting it go and living with it rather than somebody holding it, because that pays off at the end of the game to a certain degree. You know, I feel like Ty Simpson's not just going to throw in the bad coverage. I feel like he's going to make the reads. He's going to understand the scheme and throw the ball to where a receiver should be, you know, and understand, okay, I can't really, if it's a mistake, I can't really anticipate. But if this is what they give me, I'm taking it because this is what I read. Milroe, so many times, all this patting, man. Y'all know the athletic quarterback. Jerry, you said it. You said it, bro. That pat, we not in the freaking, we ain't at the bar. We ain't trying to make no beats. We ain't at the studio. Get that ball out of there. Stop patting. Get a receiver a chance. Because when you gave them chances, hey, shouts out to the receivers. Come on now. Give it up, JB. He's stepping up. JB, come on now. Jermaine Burton, 2 big catches in the game.
Yep.
Big catches.
And he was open 3 times streaking down the field, man. Especially, the first crucial one was the zone read, wide open down the field. If he just would, if Jalen Murray just would have just focused, you know what? Let me just scan it a little bit down the field. Oh, I can see that. Boom, that's touchdown. It's
half a look.
Just half a look, man.
Guy.
Sean, get that super chat real quick. Chat. Sean, get that super chat for me, and then go ahead.
Shout out to Paul McKeege. I think it's Paul McKeege. $5. Milroe looked like he never played quarterback before. Terrible. Give Ty Simpson a chance. Let's give him a chance. I'm with that. Let's do it. Let me address Titan. I lost him. It was Titan. He was saying something. Titan. It was Titan something. I want to address the young man.
And y'all, we here for it. I'm one of those guys.
Here it is. He said the defense.
I need to scroll up. How much? Hold on. Let me put it on there. How much I need to scroll up?
Titan 8308.
Go ahead, start reading. I should be able to find him.
He said, the defense sucked. This game, no pressure. 17 sucked. 40 played better. Let me explain why it was no pressure. That offense, as I said, is a Steve Sarkisian offense. That guy was our offensive coordinator for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Everything they ran was to get the ball out of Quinn's hands quick, 3-step drops, real fast, throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmages. There was barely any 5-step drops. He understands the pressure Alabama plays with. And when we did get pressure, they played the rush lanes very well. They funneled our pass rush outside. Quinn Ewers stepped up in the pocket when the pressure came and delivered the football. That's how you play quarterback. That's how you avoid pressure. We didn't do that. We ran into the pressure. So it's a reason why we didn't get no pressure on that guy. Trust me.
Even with that, let's go back and look at the last time Alabama had less than 20 sacks in a season on the offensive side. Guess who their offensive coordinator was?
Fact.
2020. Take a wild guess. Who was the offensive coordinator in 2020, y'all? Steve Sarkisian. Yeah. That's the last time our offense had less than 20 sacks in the season.
Yep. Because the ball out quick. What did everybody say about Mac Jones, Smook? Why they couldn't sack
his timing. Nobody could ever get a hand on when who was Georgia's defense got the interview. He gets the balls out quick. He doesn't take hits. we can't get to them because they get the ball out quick. It wasn't that Jalen Miro didn't have opportunities to get the ball out quick. He just did not make the reads, y'all. And it's
late
the thing.
on his reads.
I'm not blaming Jalen Miro for the game being lost because other factors play, but majority of those big plays like we need. And this, when you understand momentum, it's not all about scheme at sometimes. It's about momentum. Those plays have to be made. Shout out to my boy JD Long. Enjoy the show. I agree to disagree with some points. Tommy should have got the offense off to a better start using the tight ends more. I'm pretty sure he meant tight ends, not tightness. Pause. Tight ends more. Hey, appreciate the $9.99, JD. But the thing was,
I don't know what he's supposed to do.
He was there. They were there. The looks were there. I don't understand what y'all saying, chat.
He's got to read it. I mean, Guy Black was open 3 times, especially on the dig and the cross. He's there.
The first quarter,
especially on the cross.
Jerick, the first quarter. When I was like, we got to calm down. Miro's going to see that. I just had faith that he would see that, and they kept giving it to us, y'all. They kept bringing that weak side linebacker, the weak side inside linebacker. They kept shooting him into the A gap, and Knee Black was literally streaking and slanting right across that hole every time. Miro missed the hot slant from the corner pressure, the short side corner pressure on the first drive. Guess who read it perfect? Ja'Cory Brooks. Why didn't you release it to Ja'Cory Brooks? Come on, Miro. You got to see these things, man. And I know he's getting close up on these things. There's no way he's not. They're simple reads. They're high school level reads. And the coordinators, the defensive coordinators didn't do anything special. I didn't see any combo coverage. Did you see combo coverage, Steve? Sean? I didn't see combo coverage tonight.
Nope.
Not one time.
They had no faith. Because they had no faith in Jalen Miro's ability to read.
Exactly.
I guarantee you that was in the scouting report. They said, you know what? We're going to test it. We're going to see how it is. We're going to fill him out a little bit early. And once we get a hold of what he can do, this is what we're going to play all game.
Hey, watch my revamp edit. I said we got to give Jalen Miro at least 3 drives into the second quarter. Third drive into the second quarter was the first time Jalen Miro had scored. And he had been put in multiple opportunities to be in scoring positions at least twice before that. I'm telling you guys, if we don't see a different starter come out against USF and then coming in, we got A&M after USF, right?
We have USF after this.
Yeah, I'm saying, but after after A&M, after USF, we got A&M.
Yes.
Is it A&M?
Okay.
I believe so. Chat, you guys can correct us if we're wrong about it, but I think
I know it's a conference game. You don't get 4 cupcakes. You don't get 4 out of conferences, So, whatever our conference, we need our starting quarterback. We need somebody that we go into relying on with the passing game. Jalen Miro has not displayed it. And yes, Texas might be the most athletic, most experienced defense we play this season next to Auburn. But
they're saying it's Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Okay, Ole Miss, even worse. Because we know Lane Kiffin's gonna be just as aggressive. The defense, I believe the defense is going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to get in football shape for the season. 80 snaps is not what you want your defense playing. I don't care who you are.
Facts.
National championship seasons, the only one where we averaged more than 62 snaps was 2020. The only one. Every other national championship season, we averaged 52 snaps or less. You're talking about keeping Dallas Turner, Justin Boybe, Jaheim Otis, Tim Smith, Tim Keenan, all those guys off the field for 25 snaps because you know how to manage the ball or move the ball on offense. It wasn't a Reese thing tonight. It was literally a quarterback thing. We have to continue to have this quarterback battle. I hate to admit it. Y'all.
Hey, EJ Brassington said Milroe did more to beat Alabama than Texas did. Milroe made some plays, but those turnovers were absolutely devastating.
Especially the
absolutely devastating, man.
Especially early.
Yeah, man. And that last turnover where he threw, I'm not one of those fans that get upset and break stuff. You know how it is. We all played the game too long. I understand, how I go, but that last interception that he threw, man, I
don't know what he was looking at.
Bro, I don't either.
What was he looking at?
And the thing is, that was Sean, I'm sorry, man. It's one of the things, bro. Like I banked on this dude, and I'm a realistic fan. Yeah. I know there could be a top, and I know there could be a complete bottoms out bottom. You get what I'm saying? And tonight, for Jalen Miro, from what he went through against Texas A&M, and some of the decisions he made in Texas A&M, I honestly would have took those decisions against Texas A&M tonight, because there were opportunities for those decisions from the A&M game where he relied on his legs solely. They were forcing him to do it. Run these guys over, Jalen. You playing pretty for what? For what? You already behind. You see your passing game is not there. Play football, son. Somebody was in the chat earlier saying they should have just let that kid play football. Yes. It wasn't that they wasn't letting him play football. They were actually putting him in position to be successful. And I hate to admit it, man. He was, bro. I will tell you this. I will tell you this, Jerick. Tommy Rees' ability to make adjustments was on display tonight.
Way better than compared to O'Brien. I was impressed. Man. I was severely impressed with the adjustments. And
I mean, even Kevin Steele, the defensive adjustments on the defensive side, it was honestly, and Sean, you made a statement. It's a certain point where defensive players the starters, they get to a point where they're like, man, I'm gassed like a mug. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here, but I'm gassed, bro. Like the whole drive, and they were gassed and forced to stop when they were gassed.
This is why we disagree on this, but this is my experience. I like for my coordinators to be on the field. I don't like my coordinators to be in the booth, because let me explain why. My freshman year, our coordinators were in the booth. Didn't see him practice, didn't see him the whole game. I had teammates that was like, man, you know, that was losing faith in the game plan. Dudes arguing with one another, all type of stuff. But I've also had the coordinators on the field where they saw the vibe of the team. They knew what players were losing their SHIT. You know what I mean? They could feel the vibe of the team to pull this guy, to set that guy, bring that guy in. I like better when the coordinators are on the field. I don't like the coordinator, because when you're in the booth, you are strictly just focused on play to play. You can't see your team. You can't see who's upset, who's coming unraveled, I need you to be down on the field. You know what I mean? Just me. I like the coordinators on the field better than I do in the booth.
Bro, and my thing is, with a staff like we have, it shouldn't matter. You get what I'm saying?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. But and I get you. And you right. When we had Kirby on that field, it was a different vibe.
And Lane.
Even when we had Pruitt. But y'all got to remember, Sarkisian went to the booth at one point during the season. And it wasn't no drop off. So my thing is, bro, it comes down to execution. These players just didn't make plays tonight. Miro, you got the weight of Alabama on your shoulders. You know this. You know the weight that comes with this. Those small plays are what separate the ones that get us there and the ones that just, they end up falling off. And I feel like that's the mode. He said, it's not only 2 turnovers by Miro. He had back-to-back 3 and outs, missed a ton of reads, and missed 3 to 4 makeable TD throws. Don't sleep on Buckner. Hey, appreciate the $9.99 super chat from my boy Drew Dunlap. I agree with you 100% up until I agree with you at 99% up to that Buckner comment.
No, Buckner's not going to fix it.
I think in Buckner, we have a great value Miro, a guy that relies too much on his legs. He doesn't read defenses great, and same type of arm talent. I don't even think he has the same type of strength as far as throwing power as Miro. Maybe the accuracy is there, but the talent, the strength, I don't see it. Simpson is our best option. The arm talent is there, guys. I don't know what else we need to see. Even if we go as deep as Lonergan, throwing a freshman out there to see what happens. We have opportunities. We have a moment in USF who is not going to come in looking to give us a look. They're going to come in trying to beat us. They're trying to end our season. USF is a sneaky team. Offensively, they will test our DBs. We will see what our defense is made up next week. But honestly, I'm telling you, give Simpson an opportunity. If he can't do it, yes, throw Buckner out there. But I think Simpson is our best option at quarterback. Jerick, what you think, brother?
We got to roll with Simpson. If you want to salvage the season, if you want to try to win a national championship, because even though we lost to Texas, the season is not over. Because guess what? You win the SEC, you're in the national championship game, right? You're not in the national championship, but you're in the playoffs. If you win the SEC, so if you want to try to salvage it and you want to try to go in the best direction possible, you start Ty Simpson. because Ty Simpson at least gives you a chance because from a passer standpoint, he's better. And he has legs. He's got the mobility. He's even faster than Buckner. He's not at Jalen Murrow. He doesn't have that athletic ability, but at least with Ty Simpson, he can scan the field. He can read a little bit better. It's just about him knowing the offense a little bit more. It's trying to get some experience. But overall wise, he's a much better talent throwing the football than Jalen Murrow. Jalen Murrow, like I said, I've always said this. He has the highest upside, but the lowest floor out of all the quarterbacks. Because if he can figure it out, if he just figures it out, Jalen Murrow can end up being a Lamar Jackson type of quarterback. But right as he is right now, he's not going to get it done. He's not going to get it done unless you want a Jalen Hurts type of year. And even freshman and sophomore Jalen Hurts was a little bit better because at least he can read. And find guys open a little bit. At least he can do that a little bit, way more than Jalen Murrow can. So Ty Simpson has to be the guy if you want to try to save the season. And I think for an upside standpoint, at least if let's say Ty Simpson is our starter. Let's say he makes, of course he makes some mistakes, but overall wise, you see the improvement compared to Murrow. At least you know who your quarterback is going to be in 2024 compared to having a quarterback battle where it's last minute and now all of a sudden we don't really have that back. We don't really have that great backup that option because they're not ready yet because they're not taking a lot of those reps. So I think Simpson needs to be the guy moving forward. I would test him right now against South Florida or Dylan Lonergan. I don't care who. But it cannot be Bill and Rowe and it cannot be Buckner because all around, if you want to try to make it to the playoffs, they're not going to get you there.
Give me a second. Let me acknowledge this. This is a Bama fanatic, fan favorite, Mattress Matt in the chat. Shout out to Mattress Matt for the freaking $10 super chat on tonight on the post game show with the coaches on Bama football on YouTube. Check this out, y'all. We don't have the call and show up, but believe me, we literally was texting about this. We were saying we wish we could have a call and show because a lot of this show, I feel like we're saying a lot of what you want to say, but on a realistic standpoint, guys, this is Texas. We don't owe Texas nothing but a butt whipping when they come to the SEC next season. This is Texas. This doesn't affect our destiny at the end of the day. It hurts like hell, but it doesn't affect us other than it better light a fire under our tails. Typo, I meant tight end. I still believe if Sark was our OC tonight, he would have used J Mill better than Tommy Rees. J Mill is the best QB on our team. Talk about 74 with all the penalties and number 3 DB. Hey, get off. Hey, appreciate JD. I appreciate the super chat, but Arnold, I'd rather him get those two pass interference calls where it was good play action, strong play action, sellable play action. Where he was thrown on the island. I'd rather him get them pass interference calls and give up them 15 yards than a 45-yard touchdown and a 55-yard touchdown and a 32-yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog.
Yeah, I don't even think they led the scores too. I think with those pass interferences, those were like very crucial pass.
And they stopped drives. Come on.
They stopped the drive.
Pay attention to the game, chat. Pay attention to the game. And then guess what? Not only did he get those pass interference, but he followed up with great edge protection and run support, still in the edge. 2 clutch tackles where Alabama defense clearly missed the read, and he came up and he shot the block. He shot the block and made the play to stop the screen pass. Storm, talk about our O-line, man. I see a lot of comments, and you already know. Just walk them down. Start from left and go to right.
I think the offensive line struggled a little bit, but we have to remember, guys, this wasn't an average D-line they were playing. Caden struggled at times. He got caught lunging at times, which is normal for a young offensive lineman. When you lunge, you off balance. And a great defensive lineman, even if it's a young defensive lineman or a young outside linebacker, can get underneath him. And that's what they've done a couple of times. That's okay. Caden Proctor is going to be, by the time his career is done, Caden Proctor would be one of the best offensive linemen to play at Alabama. That guy came in, like I said, the team he played against was an outstanding team, man. And let me say, from all of us, shout out to the Texas fan, man. Shout out to the University of Texas. Shout out to you, your fans, your players. You guys came in here.
Classy tonight. They were classy tonight too. From all my people up there, they said,
I got a lot of.
It was all good vibes with Texas fans, so I appreciate that.
A lot of former teammates, man, from Texas, and you guys came in and did y'all thing. I've always thought, Texas and Florida State and some of these schools that's not in the SEC were more SEC based with their fan bases than whatever conference they were in. So shout out to all the Texas fans, man. You guys came in. It's not an easy thing to come into Bryant-Denny and win. Look at our record over the last 8-9 years in that place. So shout out to you guys. But offensive line struggled a bit, man. Of course, as I thought they would. They got some penetration a lot of times on the interior, as I thought they would. But it's a total offensive L, if you ask me. It's enough blame to go around. The offensive line didn't play well at times. Of course, we know Milrose struggles. The running back still failed to pick up a lot of blitzes at times. So, it's a complete failure on the offensive side of the ball. But Tommy Rees is not Bill O'Brien. Don't ever get that confused.
Oh, man.
At all.
No.
I saw that guy's adjustments. I saw what he did. I saw when Texas lined up in odd man fronts, what he was trying to do. I would have did the same thing. So, Tommy Rees is right where he need to be, man. We didn't capitalize tonight. We lost this game, guys. And this may sound like a fan, but it's the truth. We lost. We didn't get beat tonight, man. Texas didn't beat us. We just lost the game, man, if you know what I mean. We didn't play well in times. We didn't take advantage of our opportunities. They were there. They were there for the taking. Trust me. We just didn't capitalize on them, and Texas did.
Jerick, you want to go? You want to go before me, Jerick, or what's up?
Yeah, I'll say this real quick. We knew that this was going to be that this could have been a possibility, because when you're playing this early, and especially against a team like Texas that kind of already has a feel for you based off what you saw last year, and just kind of, for the most part, again, having a feel out for the personnel, having a feel like a lot of the same players that played tonight for Texas and for Alabama, they already know each other. They've already got a good feel about each other already. So it's when you're playing a team like that has that much hype, that has that much improvement. Again, Texas has I said this on the show on Monday. I said Texas has the best skill position players in the nation. And when you don't take advantage of when you literally hold that team down to 13 points.
Exactly.
And if you can take advantage of those opportunities, Steve Sarkisian becomes desperate. It doesn't matter how good of an offensive coordinator he is. He becomes desperate.
It's a fact.
And all of a sudden, in Tuscaloosa, when it's crowdy, and all of a sudden their defense, Pete Kwiatkowski and Pete Dunn, they start to all of a sudden become a lot more desperate. Because guess what? Alabama gets those shots. All of a sudden, they respect Jalen Milroe's arm. They respect his arm a lot more. And all of a sudden, they don't bring him up. They don't bring Anthony Hill literally just to spy. One assignment and one assignment only, spy. If he escapes, if he runs a little bit, escapes out the pocket, go after him. He's not in that game. Jalen Ford starts to play a little bit more back in coverage compared to what he did instead of just disguising him. Right? It becomes a different ball game. This is what Coach Smook and Sean said. Momentum is a big factor when it comes to football games. Throw the plays out. It's a big factor because it literally changes how coordinators and certain coaches make adjustments, and some become they make huge mistakes. They become desperate, and some are just waiting for that chance to take advantage of the desperation. And unfortunately for us, we failed. Like Sean said, we failed to put Texas on the ropes. We failed to get the knockdown. We failed to go for the kill. We were just way too. We just didn't have it. That's as simple as that. We just did not pull the trigger, and hopefully we can do it. But again, it stings. This one just stings because you felt like the opportunities were there.
Oh my God. And that's why, Jerick, I want to acknowledge this comment. This guy said, Jonas, appreciate the comment. And I understand this is nothing personal. These are not a personal attacks. These are differences of opinions being acknowledged and just spoken on. Okay. Tommy Rees never improved his play calling at Notre Dame. It's stagnant and lacks game-changing adjustments. My God, go watch the game. The first quarter play calling, second quarter play calling, and third quarter play calling were all different. Third quarter play calling was play calling to win the game. How many opportunities did we miss in the third quarter to take the lead? 2. We took 2. We missed 2 opportunities, and guess what? Those two opportunities turned into 14 points. What did we lose the game by? 10. Like, guys, we literally, Tommy Rees did not put us in back. This is a player failure And if this player wants to be a leader, he's going to take accountability and understand I have to do better. And my thing is, how much time do we give this player to do better? Do we even let him trot out against a USF, a undermatched, quote unquote, undermatched USF team as the starter to go and perform with first group? Or do we allow him to go and force him to produce with second group? You know what I'm saying? Force you to show that you have that composure to make the reads against second group. Because I honestly think Ty Simpson, with the type of play calling we have tonight, Ty Simpson is letting that go. He's letting them go. He let them go during the A-Day game with the 5 stars and 4 stars in his face, with vanilla play call. I believe he's letting them go because he understands how to read. This is a coach's son. And guys, we have to understand also the defense, like you said, Sean, the defense went 3 straight drives where we went 3 and out.
Yeah.
Not 6 and out, but 3 and out.
It's a fact.
3 and out, guys.
It's a fact.
Defense went out there and played 9 solid plays and forced turnover on downs. How many points did we get off of that? I think we got 7. I think we got 7 off of those.
Shout out to Cassie Moore. She makes some great comments, man. Great comments. Shout out to High Power TV as well. Those guys.
I'm trying to wait for Kyle to get on here, guys. We really want the sideline report. I don't know if it's even going to get one tonight because the thing was, man, like even with our audio stuff, y'all saw it was some crazy stuff going on. Texas in there messing with our wires and stuff with our connections. So they messing with everything tonight. But nah, y'all, I appreciate we got 984 people alive in the chat, man. I appreciate you all because y'all gotta understand this is one of those things where I'm a fan where I'm gonna stand on what I say, man. And I still believe I'm not Simpson, but Miro has that ceiling. He has a ceiling, but for what we need as a fan base, me being a spoiled Alabama fan, knowing what we have on that roster, seeing those receivers go to work, seeing Jermaine Burton and Ja'Cory Brooks cook on the edge. When have we had receivers that could win 75-80% of their routes since Ruggs and Judy and Waddle and Smitty left? Like those, I mean, it's been 2 years separated, but those guys were winning routes on the outside and just were not getting the looks. And I seen a comment said, "Where was Malik Benson?" Malik Benson was cooking the whole
my God
game. The whole look, chat. I'm in my mic. Look, Sean, Jay. The
whole game.
Miro only got the ball to him twice. He was cooking. Come on, y'all. Hey, it ain't the receivers. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the receivers. Since everybody wanted to blame the receivers last year, let's talk about the receivers, Sean. What'd you see?
Before I answer that question, shout out to Share the Light. If you don't mind, let me answer this question real quick. He said, "What do you think about Georgia?" I've seen that a couple times. I think Georgia's playing well. I think Georgia, with 2 national championships, is probably the most obvious team that we would call the best in the country right now. I think their play is absolutely outstanding. I think they do a great job, but I would love to see them play somebody other than Crunch and Munch High School. Other than that, I think they're great. But as far as the wide receivers, I think the wide receivers won a lot of battles. I think that if we had, let's just say, for instance, we still had Bryce. We won a lot of the one-on-one matchups. A lot of times Texas went 2 safety high, but when they did roll that safety over and go straight man, we had very, very, very a whole bunch of opportunities to win those battles, and we could not do it. I think the wide receivers played well against this type of competition. I'm satisfied with the wide receivers. We had a couple of drops. I think Martin the Black may have had one that hit him in the hands and
4 yards.
I think it was 3 legit drops. Three legit drops, but they were tough drops.
Drag.
Yeah, so compared to what I've seen from the wide receivers in the past, I am satisfied with the play from the wide receiver tonight.
My thing is, I don't think they had enough opportunities to even be judged because it was like we said, like we're going to keep repeating it. Miro misreads, man. That read to Brooks really, Brooks had bracket coverage. He had a safety over top and the corner was trailing him. The way he was able to separate coming across the middle late in that progression, if Miro just steps up and it doesn't even have to be a spiral, this pass could have been a little late and Brooks, I believe, still makes that play. You give him a chance. He just didn't give guys enough chances. Jerick, Run game, man. How you feel about the run game?
It was really good in the first. I felt like it was really good in the first half. We were able to establish physicality. We got more of a push. Than I actually thought. Going into this game, I thought that Texas' biggest strength was going to be their run defense. But I think once Texas was able to adapt, they started to bring a lot more. Like they started, notice how they changed their linebackers, and again they brought in the Anthony Hills, they brought in the Brundens. They started to bring a lot more athletic dudes that are phenomenal in run support. Because Tavondre Sweat, he's going to create opportunities. Byron Murphy's going to win. So he's going to win some of he's going to win some of his matchups against Seth McLaughlin, right? That those defensive linemen will for the most part do their job. But I felt like for the most part, Texas did a phenomenal job with the rotation. As soon as they figured out that Jalen Murrow just couldn't really read, he was just missing an open reads, and really the only success that Bama was able to have was doing zone read, doing inside zones. I mean, for the most part, we relied on it a little bit too much in the first half. Texas did a really good job of making adjustments, switching up their personnel and bringing in a lot more slicker, more athletic type players, guys that can hold their own, but can also go through those gaps with an extreme quickness and able to stop the run. Ethan Burks came down a little bit more because at first they had him simply just out wide, and then they started to rush him a lot more on the inside. So give credit where credit is due. They attacked the gaps really well. Okay. Again, again, imagine if, and I'm going to keep coming back to this, and I'm just stuttering my words because it's pissing me off the fact that we have to keep going over this. But imagine if Jalen Milroe hits those receivers. Imagine if he was able to see the reads. I'm telling you, Alabama's run game would have been so much more better. Because Texas, for the most part, that you have to respect what we do. We have to respect our run game. You got to respect our passing, because all of a sudden you don't know what we're going to do. Even if we go in the zone read, is there going to be opportunity if Jermaine Burton streaks down again? Like, players start to overthink, and we made it way too easy for Texas to figure out and say, okay, you know what? We see the formation. We know exactly what they're going to do. Even if they check out of it, we're going to be prepared for their number one and number two option, because we just don't have this much confidence that Miro can read and scan.
Exactly. That it wasn't even the adjustments that were made, Jay. It was literally the fact that they did not feel threatened by Miro's arm. And I feel like he has the talent. Sean, we know he has the talent. We've seen it. Why are you not letting it go, son? Live with the deep ball. Live with the mistake. Live with the 50-50 ball getting taken from the wide receiver. Live with that. But at least make the free safeties respected. So when it's time to use your legs, when it's time for us to rely on you and the running back making those off-schedule plays, it's there. You don't the safeties aren't already in the box on the snap. So that's my only gripe, man. And people, like, I see the comments. You got to blame the O-line. Yes, it was spots on the O-line. I expected Caden Proctor to struggle. You talking about 3 defensive tackles that are basically big defensive ends. These are highly touted guys, 4-star, 5-stars, all 3 of them. Then you got a 4th one coming off the bench that's a 5-star. Then you got 2 guys behind him that have 3 years of college football experience. Like, they're 6 deep at defensive line. And you got Caden Proctor going out there trying to handle that. That was going to be a task. I think Reese schemed enough to help him. I think the running backs, in the times where they did make the plays, it wasn't moments where we should have made the big plays. You're not going to win all those matchups, guys. That's just the nature of the beast. True or false? You could have a 5-star Will Anderson. He's not going to win every one-on-one matchup. It's just the nature of the beast. Just the nature of the game. Shout out to the big Indian H 199 chat. Reese is your problem now, guys. Hey, if Reese is our problem, I'm fine. We just got to find a quarterback that's going to deliver the ball when he presents the opportunities. That's it. And I'm not dogging Jalen Milroe. I think Jalen Milroe maintained composure. I think Jalen Milroe showed tremendous leadership by not giving up on the game. The last pick, I felt like that was a give up throw. That was one of the ones where he didn't care. But for the most part, Jalen Milroe, I still respect the young man. I still think he's a competitor. But for what we need to win a national championship with these weapons around this offense, Sean, Jerick, we need Ty Simpson. We need a gunslinger. Yep. We need a game manager that could put the ball, make those anticipated reads, break down coverage and see what it is for what it is and make the plays. Don't be indecisive. Jarrell Franklin, what does that say about the other QBs if Miro is the starter? Nick was waiting for one of them to take the starting position, and they did it. My thing is, you live with what you know. We said this. You live with what you know. You know, Jalen Miro can go out there, and if everything breaks down, he's going to rely on his legs. We know we can count on him not to turn the ball over. Tonight, he did not do what we thought we could count on him to do. Simple as that.
Yeah. Miro was the safest option. I mean, he was the safest option because again, like you just said, you know what you have, especially with his legs. You can use. He's more versatile compared to the other guys. But I also will say this: Darian Delcourt for the last 3 years, they started him from center, and then guard the last 3 years. What happened in 2021 when he started half the season? He got benched when we got to our toughest bracket, and Seth McLaughlin started. And then 2022 happened. Darian Delcourt started again for the first half of the year, despite Seth McLaughlin playing way better than him through that first half and changing life. What happened? He got benched again. Seth McLaughlin came, and now again, and guess what? Now he's starting. Now we look at this season. Darian Delcourt is starting right at guard. So sometimes coaches, they value experience more than the talent. Sometimes in certain situations, you feel more confident in this particular guy because he knows the scheme, he knows the facilities, he knows the environment. He's considered a leader by the teammates, and teammates trust him more. Simple as that. I mean, sometimes it's not about a player just being better, because we've seen this in a lot of cases in football where
Tua and Jalen
clearly the better players. Exactly.
Tua and Jalen.
Tua was clearly the better quarterback than Jalen. We saw it in spring ball where he outdueled them. But they went with Jalen Hurts anyway because they felt like they can win a national championship with what Jalen already has, which was using his legs, strong leadership, trust by his teammates, and you had an all-worthy defense. You don't need to have this talented quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa, who's clearly the better quarterback talent.
It's my fair weather fan of the year right here, y'all. Drewski. He's been following us for a while. I've been rocking with Drewski since TDA chat. That's my fair weather fan of the year.
Did you polar bear this year?
Yeah, he you know how Drewski get down. Hey, this man said put Terrion on that left tackle. That's what I'm saying. Like he does this from the start of the game to the end. So, but y'all check this out, man. We got more super chats to acknowledge. Mr. 512. Bama fans don't blame this all on Miro. Our defense came to play. We never denied that. That's the thing. I think y'all are getting us putting this on Miro as if he's the reason why we lost the game. It's not just on him. The thing is, when the opportunities were there, because just like we presented opportunities for Texas offense to capitalize, Texas presented opportunities for Alabama's offense to capitalize. Who made the big plays? Who capitalized? Texas did. Quinn Ewers did. Jalen Miro did it. Literally throws. 3 throws. Quinn Ewers, the moon ball to the end zone, and then the second one in the second half. I mean, the scramble was a big one too on the third down early in the first half. That was a big one. Did that lead to 7 or was that the 3? I want to say that led to 3.
Which one? Did Jatavian Sanders when he was
Yeah, I want to say that led to 3, right?
That was 3 points.
So I mean, even then, like they just took advantage of those opportunities. The quarterback, Sean, he said Bama fans don't blame this all on Miro. Our defense Texas defense came to play.
I mean, he's correct, but I would tell the Bama fans this. What's 3 things that if you know football, you don't have to be a coach like what's the 3 things that'll get you beat in any game? Turnovers, penalties, 3 and outs. And we specialize in all 3 of those tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. That's where we lost this game at.
Yep.
Turnovers, penalties, 3 and out. Period.
Hey, I hear this Titan guy. At least Dalcourt could snap that ball, but tonight I would not have wanted Dalcourt at center. Not with the way Miro played. No. At least Seth was making bad snaps and holding those big old 350-pound, 370-pound defensive tackle. Like
Murphy would have murdered him.
Yeah.
Murdered him.
And that's what I'm saying, because it was points and times where Seth was getting pushed back trying to help Dalcourt. Do y'all remember they was giving Dalcourt? And I don't know what. Maybe is this like a troll move with ESPN or whoever is broadcasting our games? They tend to highlight Dalcourt when he's looking the worst. Like he was supposed to be helping on the double team on the defensive tackle, and he's leaning on the guy. Seth has already got this guy stood up. Dalcourt is trying to push this guy like this, and he's going backwards like this. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Seth is really handling that job by himself. Dalcourt is just in the way. So it's one of those things like, Why we don't got Ferguson out there? Why didn't Pritchard get snaps at left tackle after Proctor got beat the whole first quarter? And Proctor's going to be a good player, like you said, Sean. But tonight was not the night to let him grow up. Not if we down, by 10 in the third quarter. You don't let him grow up in that night. You get some guys out there that know what they talking about or know what's going on. Or you start, sliding the tight ends. And they did that. That's another thing. I can't even fault Tommy Reese for trying to help him because he was giving him the extra help with Dupree and Knee-Black, putting the tight ends in 12 personnel on his side.
And they were chipping them. They were
doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally, they capitalized on the one-on-ones with Proctor. They literally were waiting for those opportunities. It was a perfectly called game for opportunities being missed. That's all it was. It comes down to that, man.
And yes, Proctor gave up some plays, but Proctor also blocked his scheme, and Jalen Milroe ran right into his man about 3 times. So, the young man is a freshman, a true freshman. He's gonna have a great, great, great career here. I have no problem with Caden Proctor whatsoever.
All right, y'all. Let's get into it now. Since we, Kyle's not going to be able to come on tonight. Whatever the technical difficulty is, we're experiencing. He's experiencing them. Chat, we appreciate y'all for coming through tonight, man. Bama Nation. At the end of the day, look, I want chat, panel, coaches. Let's do this together. Let's take a deep breath. We're going to talk about this Monday night because it ain't over with. Even a deep breath just don't allow me to. I'm going to watch this game so many times tonight. I'm going to watch those 4 plays so many times tonight where Milroe could have just literally a little bit touched to Jason McClellan. That's a momentum changer. That gets the defense fired up. They don't care if they playing 80 snaps now because now they seeing when we get the ball back, Milroe go put it in the end zone. You get what I'm saying? It's a mentality thing, and it's hard to go out there and say, here go your extra chance. Here go your extra chance. That's like, imagine, chat, for all you that are in a relationship, and I'm going to take it here for a second. For all you that are in a relationship, imagine you catching your significant other cheating, literally, in the act. But that's who you love. That's who you want to be with. You tell them, I'm going to give you a chance. And they tell you, I'm going to do right. I'm going to do right. And you go 2 days later, and you catch them in the same situation, and you just keep on believing. That's where we were put in tonight with Jalen Milroe in these situations because they were there, man. Literally 3-4 inches away from being there, and he just could not capitalize. And that's the difference in the game for me. Sean, take it away, man. What's your final takeaway with it, brother?
My final takeaway is I like to see our offensive line be better on the interior. Not necessarily Tyler Booker, but on that right side, man, we couldn't block nothing. JC got caught a couple of times trying to help out Dalcourt. They got so much pressure on that side, so much penetration in the run game. Shout out to Always Believe. You stay safe too, brother. My final thoughts is we just got to be better, man. We got to be better at the quarterback spot first and foremost. Obviously, doesn't matter what else we do from here on out. We got to be better at the quarterback spot. I don't know where they go from here. I don't know if Ty Simpson is the next, Buckner is the next. I have no clue. We just got to be better. We got to be better all around. We'll get more into it on Monday night.
For sure. Take it away, Jance.
Saban's got to give us some hope. I think right now we're in a position where pretty much the entire media, like what was the media coming into the season saying that the dynasty could potentially be over, that Georgia has taken Alabama's spot, that Texas was coming, and when Texas and Oklahoma get into the SEC, that Alabama was going to run out their turn, and NIL and transfer and the transfer portal screwed up Alabama's dynasty. I mean, we heard it all, and we took it, right? And all we just said was, you know what, wait and see, just wait and see, because guess what? These Bama players and they're hearing it. Nick Saban, the motivation, all like what do you keep saying? The rat poison. This is all rat poison. Well, right. I think tonight, fans, I've seen more fans because I've never seen anything like this in a long time. But it's to a point now where fans are kind of believing it. They're believing it. Even when we lost to Ole Miss back-to-back years in 2014, 2015, there was still always the hope. There was barely any panic. We always still had the hope that Bama could go ahead and win that national championships. This is the first time where I think really I'm seeing our fan base so far on social media. They're starting to not really even panic. I think they're just starting to kind of give up and saying that maybe that this is truly the end. Maybe they've gone right, and maybe that's okay. That we're not the Alabama of old, and we're focusing on this new generation. I said going into the season that Alabama was going to take their bumps, they were going to take their bruises, and implementing and trying to implement that philosophy. That's not easy to implement in that short amount of time. You got training camp in August, right? You have a month. Like, of course, you got spring ball that you can try to work with, but you got a couple weeks of spring ball, and then you have August that you have to work with. And sometimes it takes a lot longer to instill that philosophy back into the team. So all I can pretty much say is that I'm not going to give up on this team until Alabama loses another game. I still feel like they could potentially make the playoffs, but I think Saban, he's got to give us some sort of hope there. And I think not Tyler Buckner, because good knows. I think Ty Simpson being the starting quarterback, I think it's going to bring back energy. I think there's going to be it's going to bring back energy right and back into the fan base, because at least we can take a look at the future. At least we can sit up and saying, you know what, if Ty Simpson messes up because let's say he makes the correct read, but maybe he overthrows or maybe he underthrows a pass and maybe it results to an interception. At least we can look back and say, you know what, it's a lot better than what we saw from Murrow, because at least he's seeing the reads compared to Jalen Murrow missing it. So I think that focusing on our, and I've always said this too. One more quick thing before I pass it on to you. Our defensive line with Timothy Smith and a lot of those guys up there. I've always said this before. I'm actually a little bit more impressed with how our defensive line and how our secondary was able to hold up that explosive Texas offense for that amount of time. That's promise compared to what we saw against last year against a team like Tennessee, who, if you didn't capitalize on opportunities, they were going to make you pay for it. I was impressed with the secondary for the most part of the communication, how everything was simplified, how these defenders are able to play on the edge and able to play run contain and able to make and wrap up and make tackles. That it was special, because you saw the fan base get into it. You saw the big oohs and you saw the crowd light up, and you saw the players energizing the sideline. So I'm seeing improvements from our defense. I'm seeing some improvements from our receivers as far as separate. Like, think about this for a second. As far as a created chance from separation goes, I believe Alabama had 22% last year. I don't know what the percentages are going to be for this year as far as going against Texas, but I'm suspecting when you take a look at those miscreated chances, it's going to be extremely high. So we can clearly see that this team has promise. This team has a lot of potential, but right now we gotta get things sorted out. And like I said, maybe that's kind of our fault, because maybe we rushed it of saying that this is a national championship caliber team. I think right now we got to go back to the film. We need to see who are our best guys. We need to see, you know what, this is not working in this certain position. We got to go back and we got to try to create certain chances. We got to get players and just try them out, and let's just see what happens. But yeah, I'm not going to give up on this team. I feel like we have a chance. We went up against a team that arguably can make the playoffs. But we got to take advantage of opportunities, guys. It starts off with that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, man. It's a rough one, man, but I'm not going to give up on this team.
Oh, and that's the thing, man. I don't give up on this team. My concern comes back to personnel. You get what I'm saying? Personnel, when I'm saying key factors. I could live with Caden Proctor's growing pains. I can't deal with Dalcourt's mess anymore. I seen a comment, put Dalcourt back at center. I could deal with Seth McLaughlin's low snaps, because you got quarterbacks that can regroup from that. I think McLaughlin is just so concerned with covering, overcompensating, and you can tell in his play, man. Plays where he has man up block and he handles his job. And he's not the biggest guy, but he literally was holding his own. Anytime we had to roll right or pull right, and there was a stack move or a double team move, Dalcourt was not in phase to freaking be effective. Not one time did we break a big run because Dalcourt was being effective blocking. Dalcourt got in the way one time and broke Jace for like a 15 or 16 yard gain. Like, he just got in the way and fell. So you're not being effective. Guys, go back, watch the game. Without emotions, watch the game. You'll see that our coordinators know what they're doing. That's one thing I'm glad about. The defense not once looked confused. Aggressive plays. If you're going to get beat deep, get beat deep, breathing on like Caleb Downs did. He saw a viable route that could have been a big play route, a deep crosser, a deep dig that if completed, it could result in a first down. He crashed on it, expecting Trey Amos a cover corner to go ahead and ride his man out without whether you got over the top safety help or not. That's your man. That's your man at the end of the day. You're not supposed to be getting beat by 6 yards. Yes, your safety over top wasn't help you because they had another, but still, it's small things like that that I feel like will be figured out. And I love the play calling with Tommy Reese. I love the play calling with Kevin Steele. I feel like we could have brought a little bit more 5-man pressures, allowed our DBs to be in more athletic situations and play one-on-one instead of, waiting for the play to come to them, be the aggressives. Because when they did, they were effective. So I really think it's one of them games where we have a lot of film to work with, Sean. And you know how Saban does with early losses. I'd rather this 1-1 starting off and we drop to like 11, 12 maybe. Hopefully we go to 10. Hopefully we go to 10. We get ranked to drop to 10 and we come back conference schedule starting with Ole Miss and just play with fire knowing the next loss is we're out. Knowing the next loss, we're out. We've seen where early in the season, Ole Miss, them 2 years that Ole Miss beat us early in the season, we saw what our teams could do when they have their backs against the wall. So let's hope that type of energy can restore to the Alabama football program. And then also, guys, if Saban's time is coming to the end, hey, it's been a great time. It's been a great time. No other fan base right now, Georgia, anybody can say that they experienced 15 years of dominance. Where every year for 15 years, you were in the top 3 or 4 teams mentioned as far as contending for a national championship. And during that 15 years, and I don't think it's the end, honestly. I think this is Saban's chance to prove if he still got it or not. You're in the opportunity, Saban, you have opportunity. You have the most talented roster you've had since 2017, 2018. And then you have an opportunity to prove it. Early loss to a talented, experienced team in Texas, a talented, experienced coach. Offensive guru and Coach Sarkisian. And then, our next test against Ole Miss is going to be the telltale of all of this season. I'm excited. Guys, if nothing else to say, we got the show Monday night, chat. I understand y'all frustrated, y'all losing. Y'all frustrated about the loss. We losing people's hearts. It's all good, y'all. Promise you. This is only week 2. We're already experiencing these emotions of week 2. So let's see if we can clean it up. Let's have faith. Let's remember this is a Coach Saban coach team. This is a very interesting team. This is a young team. We got to give them time to develop. And hopefully, man, we can see some things shake up for the rest of the season. Coach Sean, before we go, man, tell the people where they can get you at.
You can get in touch with me at hammondsfamily25@gmail.com. Social media is coming. The guys going to help me out with that. Other than that, man, roll tide to everyone. It's not over. Bama fans, hold your head up. Shout out to all other fan bases that take pride in seeing us lose. I thank God every day when I see you guys that I'm not as pathetic as you, that I could care less about your fan base, and I don't take no pride in y'all losing because I'm too worried about my own fan base. Yeah. Shout out to you, though. Roll Tide.
Jay. No home training. Go, Jay. Sean, you just acting up, then I ain't gonna.
Got to keep it real, bro.
Listen, man, it's all about the Alabama, man. It's all about the A, man. I know a lot of you fan bases for the most part are going to be coming at us, and it is what it is. When Alabama lose for some reason, that's on BBC, that's on like London's programming. It's on ESPN for about a week. We understand how this works for now, but it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss. We knew that this potentially could be a possibility. We got to go back and we got to restart. We got to figure out, what we're going to do. And listen, I'm still high on this team. Even if we come out and we lose another game, it is what it is. I don't think we're going to lose 7, 8 games or 5 or 6 games like everyone. I've seen some people in the chat kind of say the same thing. I don't think we're going to happen. I think we have too much talent to have that many losses. But we got to, again, if we want to try to win a national championship, we got to figure things out very quickly. And that may be having a change, not just that quarterback, but you may have to take a look at guard. You may have to take a look at, whether if you need to switch safety as far as maybe having like an Amos playing outside compared to Arnold. And I thought Arnold played, pretty solid. But if you want to make that particular change, it doesn't matter to me. Whether if you want to switch your linebacker rotation or defensive line, if you feel like you need to pull some of those other young guys in the rotation, include them more in the rotation as well. But we got to figure it out, and we got to do it fast because we have South Florida and then we have Ole Miss. And then we're back, and then all of a sudden the conference play is going to keep rolling. So, again, first loss, but it's against a non-conference opponent. We still have a chance, to at least get to the playoffs. And no, all I can say is roll tide, man. Roll tide. I'm not gonna give up on this team, man. But that's for damn sure.
Facts, man. And closing segment for me, man. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm one of the ones that's gonna stand 10 toes down with this team at the end of the day. And this panel, I believe we all stand on our word. It was things that we were inspired by, things that we saw with Milroe that we were inspired week one. And never once did we guarantee him to make these progressions. Everything was stated with if Milroe can show, if Milroe can do. And these things he did not do. And at the end of the day, what we hope to happen, and y'all saw my score prediction, I posted on Twitter. Defense came out and gave us those opportunities. You think about the 4 stops in a row, the 3 stops in a row, however many it was. I think it was 3 in a row, to be honest. If we score off those 3, that's a 21-point swing. What was the score? What was the score when we stopped them? They only had 13 points. If the offense is able to score, you add 21 points to our current score. What's the score, guys? It's close to my prediction. Offense literally couldn't capitalize. So it's about those numbers, those analytics, those things that matter. And guys, at the end of the day, if you Bama Nation, you're going to be Bama Nation to the end, man. Win, lose, or draw. If you Bama, you Bama. I could understand. I was a big Miro fan. Call his flaws out. Call me out. Call it out. I don't care. Trust and believe, though. This team is not giving up. They understand they got a good gauge of where they are. And they probably not at the level that they probably not at the level they thought they were. We know how that is. They come in so locked in, they thought we've seen it happen. That Ole Miss loss in 2015 was a big one to us. When Jake Coker had to come in and show that heart, that was a big one to us. And you see how that team turned around. I think we have a team that's built kind of like that. And I feel like our chances, honestly, if we wanted to talk about seeing us excel in the pass game, is going to be through Ty Simpson. Go through the growing pains with him, but at least he's going to give the receivers a chance. And with that being said, man, I'm telling y'all, show up Monday night. It's going to be me with my bros, man. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I'm probably going to go out on the back porch and talk to the squirrels or the raccoons, whoever is out there right now.
Coach Smook, before you end it, give a big shout out to Catch and his crew over there at Orange Bloods in Texas. Those guys was classy.
Oh, yeah. Man. Yeah. Hey, and my boy Jimmy D back in here. Jimmy D, I know you cussing, but hey, you a real one, bro. You came through. The other ones, fans quick to quit on him, man. It ain't even quick to quit on Milroe. It's things that you should have as a third-year quarterback in their program. You get what I'm saying? And he didn't, and he's had opportunities, guys. He's making the same mistakes. The thing was, he just didn't let the ball go this year. Last year he was letting it go against A&M. This year he didn't let the ball go, but he was still missing the same reads. I don't see the improvement we need to see against a team that's going to match talent-wise. Shout out to Mike Lee for the 99-cent super chat. I know he wanted to say something, but, he probably didn't win and spit that last little bit on that bottle to drink them sorrows away. But nah, chat, hey, we want to just let y'all go ahead and vamp for a minute. Like I said, guys, we really want y'all to understand this is not a show where we judging anybody's comments. Come in, talk your trash, say what you got to say, but remain respectful. You got to understand this is Kyle's money make. This is what he does for a living. So monetize, his channel's monetized. Be careful what you say in the chat. We don't want any of his stuff getting blocked, copyrighted, none of that. So just remember, if you're going to support the channel, support it all the way. We appreciate everybody coming through, Bama fans, Texas fans, everybody. Coach Sean, Coach Jay, I don't have nothing else, man. Roll Tide. I'm ready to see Monday, man. I'm ready to watch this film. I'm ready to break it down. I don't know what to expect Monday. Guys, show up Monday. And where are we sitting at with likes? We're sitting at 254 likes, guys. Let's get this up. We got not 600 in the chat. We should be up to at least 700 likes. We had 800 chat. So let's get this up. Let's like it, man. And we'll see y'all next show, man, on Monday night. Kyle Henderson is going to have some content posted tomorrow from the game, some post-game reviews and things of that nature, interviews, all of that. So be on the lookout. Turn your notifications on. And that's it for us tonight, man. You guys feeling good? You guys feeling a little bit better now that we've been able to decompress a little bit?
I'm exhausted, man. Like I said, I texted you guys in the chat. I was done after the third quarter. I was exhausted, man. I
ain't yelled that much since probably 2019 LSU game, bro.
For me, bro, I don't feel, when you watching it and you see it, You just accepted what it is, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
I think that's the exhausting part. You sit there and you watch it, you like, there's no way Milrow can't see this. I'm seeing this, and I'm not talking about on replay, Sean. I'm talking about as the play develops, because you see how the defenses react. You're not necessarily watching the wide receiver. You're seeing how the safety is turning hips and how he's panicking to get back in phase. And you're like, why is he panicking?
Yeah.
And you go to the replay, you see why he's panicking. Because Burton is cooking him on a late break to the ball. Or Ja'Cory Brooks is inside release, climb, and cut in a square dig right at the sticks with nobody within 5 or 6 yards around him. So it's those small things, guys. But yeah, Chad, we don't want to continue to drag on the show. We look at it from a certain point of view. Y'all look at it from a certain point of view. Y'all understand where we come from. We understand where you come from. Great show. Roll Tide. Congratulations, Texas, on the big win. The score was 44, 34?
34-24.
34-24. I don't know why I want to keep giving us 10 extra points, giving them 10. But 34-24, Texas takes the win. They come into Bryant-Denny and sneak one away. Tough loss for us as a fan base, but we're going to rebound, guys. Keep the faith, keep hope alive. Roll Tide, roll Tide. We out.
Roll Tide.